Hi, welcome to your March 2025 Vedic Astrology update. I'm Prema. I'm so glad that you're here. This is a rock and roll month. We are in eclipse season, and between now and the end of May are all the major planetary transits for the year. It is a big time indeed, so buckle up, especially for you conscious leaders, you high achievers, integrating your spiritual wisdom into your success. Understanding these cosmic shifts are going to help you navigate transformation, align with your purpose, and create abundance with authenticity, because it's so important to know what the energy is. Otherwise, you might think it's going to be like this forever. It's not. There's a lot of changes coming up, but you can ride these changes, you can navigate them. There's a lot of endings, but that also leads to a lot of beginnings as well. These kinds of shifts that we're going through, these cosmic shifts, are to grow us, to get us out of our comfort zones, to do things differently. But it's essential we're able to discern on what's ours to step into and do and what's not, and what's just going to cause us drama or complication. I'm going to share all of that with you in this update. If you're curious about how these transits are going to affect you, of course, you can come in and get a personal reading with me. The link is down below, but you can get my free chart calculator, and that's going to help you to make even more sense of this update, as well as my Sacred Wealth Code quiz, where you will get one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes, which lives at the intersection of purpose and prosperity in your soul blueprint. All right, so we start with Venus and Jupiter, really bringing in this year of growth and alignment. Jupiter is now direct. Yay! Venus is about to go retrograde. So, but the thing is that Venus is really this planet of relationships and prosperity and creative flow. It is the connector in the Vedic Astrology Sacred Wealth Code system, also the muse and the artist, and it really weaves these three energies together in Pisces, where it is, because it's exalted there. It's at all its strength, so all of its characteristics come out. The muse is very much alive here with the deep intuition that Venus brings in this position. Now, Venus and Jupiter are exchanging during this particular time. I won't geek out on you, but here is the essence of it. Jupiter is bringing some wisdom, is going to bring that guidance and that teaching element in. Our great teacher, our great visionary, as well as the sage. And it enhances our intuitive wisdom, our spiritual alignment, and our conscious wealth creation, supporting your ability to attract abundance while staying deeply connected to your purpose. And that's the key. If you stay connected to your purpose, even though the path in front of you is changing, because this is where the eclipses are going to be happening too, then you can navigate from the inside out. You can navigate the rapid changes and unexpected developments that are going to arise with where these eclipses are going to happen. These planets, if you're tapping in deeper, these archetypes, these aspects of you can bring some grace, allow you to trust, and move with divine timing. And divine timing is not just a fluff word. Divine timing means that you are sensing the cycles of things. We have Kairos time and Chronos time. Chronos time, look at your watch. And it doesn't feel expansive, and supposedly everything is the same. Calendar year, days, months. When we are working with divine timing, you're working with the timing that is encoded in your soul blueprint, which is not going to be like someone else's. So we don't want to compare ourselves to each other. This is why knowing what your soul blueprint is, knowing what your Vedic astrology chart is really supportive to you. And in fact, I am running a special right now for this eclipse portal that we are in, so that you can really get the clarity that you need during this time, so you can step into your next level of influence, of prosperity, of your soul aligned purpose, and understand where the road is going for you, because it is going to change, and change is not necessarily bad as long as you understand what it's evoking from you, what's being called from for you. So this reading is normally 777. It's 222 off, so it's 555. I will be running this for a very limited time for a limited number of spots. I encourage you, if you're feeling like, yeah, I do want to know, and my energy is resonant for you, there's a link in the description below, in the comments, and book a Vedic Astrology Unlock Your Soul Blueprint reading with me. All right. With this, we're going to have Venus going retrograde. And Venus is going to retrograde in Pisces from March 1st through April 12th. Now, Venus only retrogrades every 2 years. Again, that's our muse, our connector, and our artist. And I want you to lean into creativity during this time. So it is going to retrograde, and it's encouraging us to release our attachments. We're going to be ending cycles. It's happening in Pisces, which is the natural 12th house of the zodiac. Not only Venus is in Pisces, but so is Mercury, so is Neptune, so is Rahu, the north node of the moon, part of the eclipse pattern. Saturn is going to join this party as well. The sun will be joining this party. The moon will be here. So there's this huge planetary pileup in the natural 12th house. Now, Pisces rules something specific for you. For me, it's my 7th house of business and intimate partnerships. And so we're feeling there's a shift and a change in this part of the chart, but Pisces is a very spiritual sign. It wants to dissolve things before we start and rebirth again in Aries. So for you, it might be your 10th house of career if you're a Gemini ascendant. If you are a Virgo ascendant like I am, it's going to be your 7th house. If you're a Scorpio ascendant, it's your 5th house of children and creativity and gifts. So depending on where it's hitting you, then you're going to feel this in those areas of life, but also it's even more complex than that because there's so many planets involved. But that's where the shift is happening. So the underlying message here is we need to lean into our spiritual practices. We need to lean into our intuition and not so much on our logic. And it's going to be very important to open up to our creativity, be aware of when and if you are checking out or too much in fantasy land, or if you're really being called to check in deeper and to open your heart and to clear what's in the way. So rather reacting out of fear, you want to trust the intuition, the downloads, the revelations that arise. The hidden patterns in your relationships are going to arise. And certain business relationships or business strategies may surface that are no longer in alignment. So this is a sacred pause to reassess these partnerships, to reassess what's going on in your business, your messaging, how you connect with your partner, how do you connect with your audience. This is a reassessment, and the underlying navigational tool here is open your heart, open your heart. Take the time to not be in reactivity, but open your heart. And can you see this all from a higher perspective? Can you open up to what wants to be birthed through you next? And there always has to be a clearing and a release in order to birth what's next. This is a time when Venus is going to shift from being an evening star to a morning star. So it's going to go behind the sun for a while, and then it's going to come back out again in late April. And then, like when it comes out of retrograde in mid-April and in late April, it's going to come out and be a morning star, and we're going to feel renewed and have more clarity and guidance on the next steps. So these times happen, I believe, because we are so called to learn to trust ourselves at a deeper level. And because we are so bombarded by information and things coming in from the outside, it is very hard to disconnect from all of that and hear your own voice. So in these times, the cosmos shakes things up. And so we reorient ourselves more towards truth. The other side of this is you could reorient yourself more towards complication, because the magician's here, the north node of the moon, which can bring in lots of opportunities, new relationships, It's not time to get married, by the way. There will be stress on relationships. And I would even say that if it feels like it's a time to break up, if you can wait it out through the eclipses, you're going to see things more clearly. There will be pressure on relationships. But also the magician can bring in opportunities, and they'll come really quickly. So you want to be ready for them. So inviting you to make sure that you are meditating, that you are getting in nature, that you're spending time tuning in. So that means more quiet time. None of us get enough quiet time. I sit for an hour of meditation a day. I hike down to the beach through the forest every single day. And I, really am in my spiritual practices, and still I don't get enough quiet time. It's just the way the world is right now. So we have to work a little harder at that. But if you do, you're going to have some deep downloads. And I encourage you to journal about them, to not make quick decisions on them unless you're getting that full body yes, like, oh, this is for me. If you have any hesitation, then you definitely want to wait it out, okay? Now, Mercury's going to be in this placement in Pisces as well. It's already there now, and it's going to go retrograde. So with Mercury in this placement as well, we have what's called a Saraswati Yoga. When these three planets, the benefic planets, are in a particular relationship together, and there's different ways that can play out. So we have a Venus-Jupiter exchange, and then Mercury's going to be with Venus. And so this energy of Saraswati comes in, and this is really the energy of wisdom and eloquence and knowledge and teachings. And it is a time to share our teachings and our knowledge, and it makes it a very potent time for you conscious leaders, coaches, healers, spiritual entrepreneurs to tune in, to refine your message. I wouldn't necessarily launch something new during this time that is something that you really want to plan for the long haul. Absolutely put something out that's something on a shorter time frame. Wait till after the eclipse pattern to launch something new, and it'd be ideal to wait till after the retrogrades as well. That doesn't mean we don't want to put out offers. Absolutely 100%. And people are going to need you during this time. And it is a time you could step into some greater visibility, but you need to move and go with the flow. And whatever line of work you are in, I like to say keep your sea legs on. Be willing to, when I say go with the flow, it means less attached. You thought it was going one way, and now it seems to be going another. Let's go with that. We're not going to invest all of our energy in that direction, but let's go with this. Let's ride it out. Let's ride the storm out. Eclipses are storms. So if you've been feeling called to write, to teach, to speak, this is your sign to really trust your voice, because the Saraswati Yoga is going to bring things forth that you're going to want to share your insights, whether that's starting a new YouTube channel, or writing a blog, or teaching more to your clients that you already have in a particular way, or in a way that maybe you've been hiding your gifts. So alignment with divine creativity and authentic expression is really highlighted during this time. So go with it, get going on that outline for the book, or, creating content, whatever that might be. The eclipses and Saturn, we're going to have some big shifts here. And the underlying message again is release what no longer serves you. Sometimes we don't have a choice with that, right? There's a closing to something. There's something that is way beyond our control to release. And then there are the things that are holding us back, that are outdated, like our outdated strategies, like in our business, in our life, the way we're doing things. Maybe that could be the way you're eating. That could be the way you're running your business, the way you're running your marketing, clients, relationships that no longer align with your vision. Where you're feeling friction, where you're feeling resistance, that's where these places are. And this eclipse cycle is going to bring clarity on what you're being called to let go of. Look, anything you're being called to let go of, truly release and let go of, become detached from, is to align you more with your divine path. And the ego looks at it as loss. The soul looks at it as transformation. And we are human. We're going to go through both. We're going to feel loss in some ways, but you're always making space with wherever you may feel lost. But just know you're always at choice to shift your perception to see it as a transformation. Okay? So this is a clarifying period of time. It's just not clear while it's going on. Saturn will move into Pisces. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment because that's going to happen at the very end of the month. And if you've been struggling with your boundaries, this could even be pricing your services or balancing your spiritual integrity with your business or with your career. This is going to be your time to really, after we move through the eclipses at the end of the month, to really solidify that foundation that really supports your inner growth as well as your material and business growth as well. We're going to have a Sun-Saturn conjunction on March 11th. These two are the antithesis of one another. It's individuality versus collective growth. And the Sun in Aquarius and Saturn's influence challenge you on how to balance your personal ambition with the community contribution, your purpose, individual purpose, and the mission you're leading in the world, that balance of that, and what is the ideal for the collective, for the community? Are you leading from a place of alignment? Or do you feel like you're leading from a place of obligation? Obligation is probably something that's become outdated for you. This is a time to refine your leadership and step into your greater visibility and serve from a place of deeper authenticity. And the only way we connect with deeper authenticity is to get more intimate with ourselves. Again, that's through our spiritual practice. That's through being really connected to our gifts, like in my Sacred Wealth Mastery program, or in my membership, which is Sacred Wealth Collective Show Up and Shine. These spaces I have created so that we can take a look at what's going on behind the scenes. What are our gifts? What's the purpose? What do we want to step out with and show up and shine with? What's the kind of, how do we want to bridge that spirituality and what we're doing in the world, our purpose, our business, our work in the world, so that it's got a lot of integrity, but we're also really free in authentically who we are and letting that flow through us. And that is a process, like I said, of being more intimate with one another. So being more intimate with ourselves and being intimate in a soul group where you feel like you can relax and allow yourself to be seen allows you also to be more relaxed and generous with yourself in being seen out in the big world. We will have a full moon total lunar eclipse in Leo. First eclipse in Leo. The nodes of the moon will be moving there in May. This is right on the edge of Virgo and Leo. It's almost at 30 degrees, and it's in Uttara Falguni. It is on March 13th, 14th, depending on what time zone you're in. And it is a total lunar eclipse. It's really activating our emotions and releasing patterns of attachment, specifically in our leadership, Leo, our responsibility, and our social connections. This is across from Aquarius. This is where the whole eclipse pattern is going to move in May, and then we'll have eclipses that are in Aquarius and in Leo for a year and 18 months after we go to May. So those of you who have ascendants and moons in those signs are going to be more greatly affected. I'll get into all of that as it comes. I don't want to give you too much information. I want to keep you present with what's going on now. I will do a full moon lunar eclipse update specifically for that. Understand these are emotional periods of time, and that the main thing is you want to stay present, because with a lunar eclipse, things shift right in the moment. They shift rather quickly. So with that, you want to be present. You don't want to overload your schedule. You want to stay open, and so that you can deal with what's emerging. I am always speaking to a lot of empaths. I'm an empath myself. And we can be very emotionally sensitive during a lunar eclipse. Everybody can. So it's not a great time to be around a lot of people if you can help that, because you're going to take on a lot of other people's emotions. So it's a good time for spiritual practice. Absolutely. It's a good time to be tuning in and journaling and meditating and chanting and practicing whatever release work. But it is not a time to overload your schedule to launch something new. Just chop wood, carry water, keep things routine, and make more space in your schedule, because there'll be things emergent and you might even have an opportunity emergent, but you want to have the presence to know. In my readings that I'm doing, I'm always paying attention to all the transits, and the eclipses are always very important, but putting a special focus on that with this reading special, because if you know where the path is shifting, where it's going, we can shine. Then I can help you understand that and shine some light on that, and be knowing that, then you are able to stay aligned with the new path instead of being resistant to what is coming your way, whether that's letting go of something or welcoming in something new. The sun will move into Pisces on March 14th, adding to our planetary pilot. And again, all this energy in Pisces, very transformational sign. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. There's a big vision that can happen here. It's very otherworldly. Again, watch out for checking out, though. Too much fantasy, too much Netflix. You've got things you need to attend to, but you're numbing yourself out in some way instead. Be careful of that. That's the seduction here, and especially because we have Neptune lining up here as well. Instead, lean into your creativity. Lean into those great Venus archetypes of intuition, creativity, and connection. And connection should always be self, then the source of your being, and then we can connect from the heart with others. Mercury is going to retrograde in Pisces March 15th through April 7th. And it's in Pisces with everybody else, okay? And it's helping to create that Saraswati yoga. You know, planets are actually stronger when they're retrograde because they're further away from the sun, and they're stronger for what they stand for. They're wonky when they're retrograde. We're reevaluating things in a retrograde. We're going back over a place where we've already been, and then when it goes direct, we'll get to go back over again, and we'll be able to make new choices depending on what we've reevaluated. So it's not a bad thing. And in fact, Mercury has a special gift for you in its retrogrades, because it's retrograding all in the water constellations this year. And those mean either a purpose, spiritual, relationship, or wealth house for you, a triplicity of houses. I talk about those and give that all to you in my Vedic Astrology Soul Blueprint reading. And so there is a gift in the retrograde when you put your focus in the right place. Now this retrograde is really redefining our communication and connection in a big way. With Venus there and both of them being retrograde, it's a super powerful time to refine how are you communicating? How are you connecting? Where are you overly attached? In your business, refining your messaging. I'm been working on that for the last few months, and I just stepped into another level of that. There's this internal desire to be more specific and to refine, and so that we can have more potency in our energetic currency, in our voice, and in your business and in your brand's presence, so that you can really connect with who you're here to serve, because that's all that energy in Aquarius and where Saturn has been for the last 2.5 years. Who are we here to serve? What is our social purpose? Are we actually communicating that? Is that actually coming through? Are you being a beacon for that? So with this Mercury retrograde, just take it as it comes. Be willing to reevaluate, and once it goes direct is a better time to make choices that are going to be long-lasting choices. That doesn't mean you can't do things while it's retrograde. You're just going to want to go with the flow. The new moon partial solar eclipse in Pisces in Uttara Bhadrapada on March 29th at the end of the month. Now we've got something else happening here in Pisces. It's partial, but it is still a solar eclipse. It's about completing cycles again. The theme of Pisces. I will do a full video on this for you as well. And this solar eclipse is really a portal for rebirth. Activates our deep spirituality, like it's a reset for your spiritual mission, your creativity, and your ability to lead with purpose. But this is a change in path. This will shift your direction. We won't see how it actually shifts until between 1 and 6 months afterwards. It's not like a hard left, but it's like taking a Y, and now you're going off a little bit on a different direction. So if you've been feeling stuck in your life, in your business, or questioning the next move, maybe needing more clarity, this is really a cosmic push forward. It is a cosmic upgrade at a certain level, and it's going to invite you into deeper alignment. It will help you to let go of outdated systems, outdated, business model, outdated, your fears, and any self-imposed limitations. So we're going to ride this again and be willing to release whatever needs to be released. I'll bring you a whole update on this. Saturn transit in Pisces on March 29th, same date. Saturn's now going to move into Pisces, and that's going to stay there for the next 2.5 years. We'll be talking more about that. But Saturn in Pisces is really this long-term, like, growth and mastery energy. It is, and wherever Pisces is in your chart, Saturn's influence really encourages us to create sustainable structures in your business, like a sustainable business model and structure. It wants you to concretize things in this area of life that honor your energy, your values, your boundaries, your purpose. It wants you to commit and be steady. And it will ask you to let go of some things in order to do that. But it's very powerful when we can really move along this path with Saturn. It'll play out over a long period of time. It's 2.5 years, but it's really soul aligned growth that really nurtures both our personal well-being and our purpose and prosperity, what we're here for. So things are going to shift in this area of your chart. And again, think of everything for sustainability and for the long haul, even your legacy and what impact you're here to leave. This is really hitting me near and dear just because of where it's hitting me in my chart. And I've already been feeling that. So I'm already sort of synthesizing some things in my business. So this is an incredible time. It is some huge cosmic shifts, but you can ride this energy, and I'm here to support you with that and align your purpose, your life, your business with your unique soul's timing. Come get a reading and we can narrow in on that for you. We might experience delays and shifts and pauses, but all this is guiding you to a stronger foundation. It's causing us to take a closer look at some things that are outdated and help you to refine what you're really here for, your message, your visibility, your relationships is a big part of this. And so that you can magnetize who's really in alignment with you, both in your personal life and in your business as well, and really to experience some long-term sustainable growth and success. So transformation. And so what I want to encourage you is to not get too serious about all of this and to take the time to really dive in, journal, meditate, trust yourself, understand your soul blueprint so that you are really moving with your gifts. And taking the Sacred Wealth Code Oracle quiz is really going to help you, get one of your archetypes, come in and get a Sacred Wealth Code reading, sit down with a reading for me, and so that you can really align yourself at a deeper level. When you know that the cosmic weather is happening for a certain period of time and what it's asking of you, it is so much easier than wondering what the heck is going on. All right. Please share this. Tell me what you're feeling. What is your sense? What's changing for you? Love to hear your comments, and I respond to all of them. Love if you share this, like this, and subscribe. And thank you so much. So much love to you.